If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready. Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort. Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a broadcast, it's easy to just go to shrmedia.com, or you can go to 2 other places. You can go to Facebook or YouTube and just search for SHR Media. While you're there, don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button. How is everybody doing today? I'm trying to do, as usual, about 20 things at the same time, and so far everything looks good with the brain fart with the show. It's been a couple days since I've been on. It's been a hectic couple of days. Let me do. So it was Sunday, and I wake up. And my wife's calling me, and she says, well, your daughter was getting something to eat for lunch, and she burned herself. So you need to take a look at it. Like, all right. She warmed up some soup and just probably a little something on her chest somewhere. So, I proceed to open the bedroom door. Hey, your mother told me, I gotta check you burned yourself. She pulls up the side of her shirt. And the skin is, like, past bubbling, and it's kind of melting off. I'm like, what the Whoa, what the hell happened? She's like, well, I was sitting there. Or I was getting ready to sit down. I just got done nuking my lunch, and it spilled on me. I'm like, holy shit. So she wasn't in pain. She wasn't screaming. She wasn't yelling. I'm like, all right, maybe just let's see how it goes. So as the day wore on, she's still getting no pain, and we're looking at it, and I keep looking at my wife. I'm like, this is looking worse. So long story short, Monday we take her to the the doctor, and the doctor says, well, it looks like second degree, definitely second degree, possibly third degree. Get her to the burn specialist. Ah, shit. So yesterday we take her to the burn specialist, and for the long story short, what it is she has second degree burn. I mean, she's got a big spot that big on. I'm trying to get the hands for the cameras, and about that big on her stomach. And then she has one on her thigh about that big. Now the section that's up here and under the arm, it's all, they said, like a sunburn, maybe first degree. So they can't tell anything until after 2 weeks go by. She might need skin grafts, which is going shit. Just what we need. I mean, it's more, I want to make sure my daughter is okay. That's what I care about the most. And now that I know it's not third degree, it's a little bit of a weight off my shoulder. Trying to see some. And it's, like I said, the weight is somewhat off the shoulder. Because just knowing that she doesn't have third degree, that just takes a lot of stress off and pressure off my shoulders. Nothing's worse than sitting there seeing that and going, oh, shit and Shiola. So, and what I'm doing over here is I went and got one of those little Cody boxes or whatever the hell they want to call them. It's like 3 by 5 inch box. It's like a little computer. And it's running Android operating system. So, I had a little downtime the other day. Hooked it up, downloaded all the programs. I get on to do the show, and lo and behold, for some reason my Comcast app loads up, lets me pick a program to watch, but then it tells me I can't watch it. I'm like, what the fudge? So I was like, all right. Well, hey, Flyers on. Pop that on. Nope, for some reason, and that's on all my computers, I can't watch the Flyers game, and that's pissing me off. I pay money for that, and I can't watch a goddamn game? The hell is that happy horse shit? I mean, they're losing, but still. Come on. So right now I'm on Cody, checking some stuff out. I'm going to stop in a second. I just want to see if I can load this one thing up. NPR music videos. No, I don't want that. Enable. Disabled all day. Open. Let's see. All right. See if this works. Ta-da! See if I can log all this. See if I'm as smart as I think I am. Oops. Now let's see if I can log in. See how good I am. Oh, come on. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? I know it is. And I think that's actually an NHL issue because none of my channels are working. I mean, none of my apps for NHL, which I tried calling their support, and yeah, that was 15 minutes of wasted time sitting there on hold. So that's been my couple days. So then the 9th, I go back to the burn doctor so we can see if we are going to need skin grafts. So it's been a very interesting, and I do apologize not for being, I don't like not being here, and I know it's pretty often I got to do it because of my health, and now the issue with my daughter, but I know you guys understand, guys and girls, and we'll just, prayers are needed right now, I can tell you that right now, my stress levels up here. Alright, let's see, where are we going? What else do we have? I know there was a lot of bombs dropped last couple of days in this weekend. Holy shit. And the mainstream media and some of the liberals are trying to play it off like it's nothing. And when they're doing that, I mean, just their actions is screaming. They know they're guilty and they're fucked right now. Where to start? All right, let's start with the dossier. Now it's known that the DNC and Clinton campaign financed that dossier. They funded it. Of course, now DNC's, why wouldn't we? That would have been irresponsible if we didn't investigate into Trump. But wasn't it not too long ago when they thought they had Eric Trump or Trump Jr. dead to rights because he may have had a meeting with a Russian lawyer about Hillary Clinton. How dare he? How dare he do that? How dare? Then it was a different story. Then it was a totally different story. But now that it's them against the wall, because this is more than just taking a meeting. They funded a fake dossier, a fake study, with money going to Russia. Isn't that a hoot, guys? That really does make me laugh because of the fact they complain about Russia involvement, but yet they're the ones that actually were working with Russia to try to fuck Trump up. Think about that. They're complaining Trump, after he got elected, was because of Russia. But yet it was them that worked with Russia. Let that really sink in for a moment. Let's see how the streams are going. Oh, it's going to be one of those days. It sounds like the feeds are good. I had to do an update on the software, and every time I have to do an update, I'm going, oh, shit. All right, bro. How's this going to turn out? Ouch. I don't understand it. I mean, they bitch and moan about one side. Now they got caught with their cookie hand in the cookie jar, so to speak. And that's what I've said this, and I guess it's one of my little, what does BZ call them? Axioms. When you hear a Democrat blaming the Republicans of doing something, you better look behind the curtains, because that is exactly what the Democrats are doing. And you better look good, because, I mean, that is every time. That is what they're doing, and they're trying to hide it from everybody else. I'm actually liking this Cody thing. It's just, I just got to figure out what's stopping those two apps from working. and I don't have enough knowledge on it right now to make even an educated guess. But I'll work on it. I'll get this. Of course. They actually have a program called Trump Tweets. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Oh. No, what the hell? TV. I don't know. Oh, it boggles my mind. That they're now trying to justify their own actions. They got caught. They got caught red-handed. And now they're going to try to, oh my God, it wasn't us. Everybody does it. They're going to come up with every single excuse they can come up with to try to justify why they were working with Russia. I got to get to another camera, too. Put the other camera over here so I could do stuff over here. And I'm looking at the camera then. Oh. It's going to be... Got a... Like, fingernail just sticking out slightly. But it's... And what's worse is, it wasn't even Fox, Breitbart, that came out with this. This was Hillary Clinton, or excuse me, it was Washington Post was one of them. The Hill. They're all coming out with these articles now going, oh, shit, we got to report on this. Damn, it's getting cold outside. They're not reporting on it the way they should. They're not reporting on it as if it was a conservative issue. Hey, Snarky, sorry, I didn't see you there. I do apologize. I wasn't looking at that screen. I was looking at something right then when you came on. It's hectic. Everybody's heard about the fusion, GPS fusion, dossier, all that shit that went on. I'm sure everybody's heard of that. I'm not going to go deep into it. People know that bullshit, fake dossier that was created. The Democrats already tried to jump on once and fell flat on their face with it. But now it's coming to find out that it was not only funded by the DNC, it was funded by Hillary Clinton's campaign, and now we're finding out there was Republican. There was always talks, this is what happened, but there was no proof, and now it's coming out. You know, Hillary denied that she paid for this. The campaign denied they had anything to do with it. The DNC denied. But guess what? Can't deny forever. It's going to come out, and we're going to see a lot more drop. There's more we're going to discuss today, and we're going to discuss some so-called conservatives. They're dropping out because of Trump. No, they're dropping out because they know they can't win in the primary because the people are tired of their bullshit. But it's all coming out in the wash. And everybody was complaining like a month into Trump taking over. He hasn't cleaned out the swamp. The swamp didn't happen overnight. It's going to take a while to get the swamp cleaned up. And it's going to take time for Washington, D.C. to get clean. It didn't get dirty overnight. It's not going to get clean overnight. With that, we're going to go to commercial. And when we come back, we're going to finish. Not finish. We're going to keep on going with everything that's happened over the last couple days that I missed. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and the Lone Star Radio. And we will be right back.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying calf was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show. Also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless as I have shit falling over all over the place. Why can't that just work with me? Why? Why won't it work with me? I need to get a little holder. What the heck? All right, I was actually able to find one of the channels, so I threw up Fox just so I have a little something news right there. Now, the funny thing is, I don't watch Fox that much. They're not that impressive. They really aren't. Let's see, where are we, though? We've been talking about the DNC, Hillary Clinton. The Post reports helps settle a central mystery that has lingered around the dossier since it was published by BuzzFeed back on January 10th. Fusion has refused numerous requests from Congress and in lawsuits involving the dossier to reveal the identity of its own clients. News reports about Fusion's clients have been vague. The dossier financer was generally described as an ally of Hillary Clinton's. One question that remains is who first hired Fusion to investigate Trump. A Republican donor who was opposed to Trump's candidacy reportedly hired Fusion in September of 2015 to conduct routine opposition research. But according to the Post, the Clinton campaign and the DNC paid Fusion through the end of October 2016, just before the election. It is not entirely clear how much Fusion was paid for the project, but Federal Election Commission records show that the Clinton campaign paid Perkins, C-O-I-E. Don't ask me to... Let's see if the wife is up and running. Is the wife up and running? I don't know. I think it is. And then we have the whole, real quick, we have the whole Russia Uranium One issue. And now, breaking news is coming out about that. That's just beautiful. And that has Clinton's right in the middle of that one. Everything that Clinton is in the middle of, but what do we hear? What do we hear the excuse? Oh, it's a right-wing conspiracy. See, here's the problem with that. Every time Clinton gets involved in something, that's their excuse. How many times can you go to that well? You can go too many times. All right, let's go. So it's this attorney Perkins. Coy. a total of $5.6 million between June 2015 and December 2016. The DNC has paid the firm $3.6 million since November 2015. That's what, $9.1 million right there. The Post source said that the Clinton campaign and DNC did not direct Steele's research. The surprise revelation that the Clintons' campaign and the DNC's were directly connected to the dossier is sure to provide fodder for the Republicans in Congress. Of course it is. And any Republican that doesn't try to use that is going to be dumber than dog snot. I mean, who wouldn't? You have your opponents. Underhanded. Disgusting tactics. And what did they do? First, they denied it. I mean, if they were so proud of it, and it was, their comments, well, we'd be stupid not to, then why did you deny it from the start? Why didn't you step up and say, yeah, we did this, if you were so proud of it? Why? Because there's probably going to be a lot of questions, and people are not going to be happy about that. But hey, what do I know? The FBI reportedly met with Steele multiple times during the investigation of Trump, first in July and then several months later. The Bureau reportedly opened its investigation soon after meeting with Steele, though it's unclear if the dossier or the meeting with Steele is what prompted the FBI investigation. But we already know Comey, as director, said that had a direct bearing on him opening an investigation. Knowing that it was a fake dossier, he still opened an investigation. Now, don't forget, this dossier is also what the FBI used on the application to conduct surveillance on Carter Page, a former Trump campaign advisor who was featured prominently in the dossier. Steele, citing unnamed sources, alleged that Page, an energy consultant, served as Trump's campaign liaison to the Kremlin. Page has denied the allegation, as has Trump. And if you notice, in citing unnamed sources, a lot of that's constantly going about. Unnamed sources, unnamed sources, unnamed sources. A lot of unnamed sources are making a lot of accusations that they have yet to be able to back up one iota. But what we have been able to back up is that Hillary Clinton and the DNC were behind this fake dossier. They financed this fake dossier. They financed this fake dossier that caused an FBI investigation. One thing, if this brought about some information, but it was fake from the start. I mean, it really it pisses me off. How much longer do we have to keep putting up with this? And the name that keeps coming up behind all these issues, three main names. Bill Clinton has been coming up for decades. Hillary Clinton. And for the past almost decade, just under a decade, Obama. Those three names keep coming up, popping up, popping up, popping up, popping up. Bill Clinton's been out of the office for how many years? And his name's still popping up in scandals connected to our U.S. government. It's repulsive. Now, I announced one Republican, or I should say another Republican, has announced that he will be retiring. Jeff Flake. Now, they're coming up with 1,001 excuses, but what it comes down to, plain and simple, is this. He was so far behind in the primaries, he was going to lose his primary, and he bowed out. He jumped ship before he lost. That's what it comes down to. You can try to sugarcoat it, cover it up. A late poll in August showed Flake's primary challenger, Dr. Kelly Ward, a former Arizona state senator, ahead of Flake by double digits. The poll showed twice as many Arizona Republicans supporting Ward than Flake. During Donald Trump's presidential campaign, he is reported to have said he would consider spending $10 million to back a challenger to Flake. In August, Trump tweeted that it was great to see Ward running against Flake. Shortly after news broke of his plans to retire, Flake took to the floor of the U.S. Senate to explain his decision to abandon a re-election bid, blaming the tone and political values Trump brought to Washington. Yeah, this jackass can't rip the people off anymore. He can't lie to the people so easily. So he's going to blame that political value of not being able to fuck over his constituents on Trump. Thank you, Trump. Fellow Senator from Arizona, John McCain, took to the floor shortly after Flake on Tuesday and spoke of seeing Flake stand up for what he believes in. Yeah, he believes in fucking over his constituents, lying to the American people, and padding his own pocket the same as McCain does. I'm hoping to God McCain retires soon, too. Now, McCain called Flake a man of integrity, honor, decency, and commitment to not only Arizona, but the United States of America. This is the same man that stood up there and said that he wanted to repeal Obamacare. I want to repeal Obamacare. I want to repeal Obamacare. Oh, we get to repeal Obamacare? No, I'm not doing that. In the wake of Flake's announcement, Ward tweeted out the following Tuesday, Arizona voters are the big winner in Jeff Flake's decision to not seek re-election. They deserve a strong conservative in the Senate. Flake's announcement comes just a few days after conservative radio host Laura Ingraham and Steve Bannon campaigned for Ward in Phoenix. Bannon was one of the many conservatives that backed Judge Roy Moore in Alabama last month against establishment-backed Senator Luther Strange. Moore won the Republican primary runoff election in late September despite only having $1 to $2 million in support against a Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell hand-picked candidate tens of millions of dollars. Just hours before Moore won the re-election, Senator Bob Corker announced he would not run for election. There's 3 establishment members done and out the door. We're getting them out. We're rebuilding the party for the better. Pay attention who you elect, people. Make them prove what they're going to say. Don't just take their word. Don't let them sit there and run off at the mouth like they do. Let's see. What are we down to? Take a look at the temperature. Last night, it was, 50s? Oh, we're looking at only 73 tonight. It's getting kind of cold here in Florida. I love what I'm seeing, people, and we got to keep it up. The fight is not just electing Trump. It's going to take more than that. It's going to take a full-on battle. Both in the House and the Senate, we got to get Mitch McConnell out there. We got to get Paul Ryan out of there. And he's another big asshole that we got to get out of that leadership role. All he does is back up the Democrats. He hasn't stood for anything of conservative values. He talks it, but he doesn't back it up. I can tell you I'm the Pope. It doesn't make me the Pope. With that, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and the Lone Star Radio. And we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the Unpleasant Blind Guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. So, another good news that's coming out is President Trump made it official on Thursday that embattled IRS Commissioner John Kasich, stuttering me, will be out of a job next month. Trump tapped David, somebody, the Treasury's Department's Assistant Secretary for Tax Policies, to serve as interim IRS Commissioner beginning November 13th. John, what the hell is this idiot's name? Damn it. Freaking drawing a blank here. I know how to say it now. I just can't think of it. So what I'm going to do is get the wife out again. I'm going to beat myself once I hear it. I know I'm going to beat myself. Oh. All right, here we go.
Koskinen.
There you go. Koskinen. His term ends on November 12th. He was eligible for reappointment, but Koskinen is fiercely opposed by congressional Republicans. Members of the House Freedom Caucus attempted but failed to impeach him last year, largely over his handling of the scandal involving former IRS official Lois Lerner. Prior to Koskinen's tenure, Lerner was accused of targeting conservative groups who applied for nonprofit status. Koskinen also accused of stonewalling congressional investigators looking into Lerner's activity, as well as of covering up for the Obama's administration. Trump had faced pressure from many Republicans to fire Koskinen, who was appointed to head the IRS by President Obama in 2013. The intended replacement, was appointed to his role as at the Treasury in August. He worked as a tax attorney at the firm Ernst & Young for more than 3 decades. He will still perform his Treasury Department duties while overseeing the IRS, according to the Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin. Dave will provide important leadership while we wait to confirm a permanent commissioner. Also, along with that, they've approved a settlement with a lot of the conservatives that were targeted in that debacle with the IRS. But they were targeting conservative groups. There was a lawsuit brought about, and that has now been settled. I love Bill Clinton says everybody is a nationalist. Wasn't he just saying how nationalist is racist and all that? The Democrats have been running around saying now they're going, no, everybody's a nationalist. We're nationalists. Yeah, everybody is. You misunderstood what we were meaning by all this. Friggin' douchebags. They will say anything and do anything, the Democrats will, to get elected. They don't care. They have no couth. They'll say and do anything as long as you elect them and keep them in power. Just take a look at their history. And here's what it seems the Dems were okay with foreign election interference as long as it hurt Trump. Now, Chris Wallace said on a new revelations of the Democrats funding a controversial anti-Trump dossier are a damaging development for Hillary Clinton. Fox News confirmed this week that the dossier, which was published by BuzzFeed, was bankrolled by Mark Elias, a lawyer representing the DNC in the Clinton campaign. Millions were paid to a political consulting firm, Fusion GPS, which then hired a former British intelligence officer, Christopher Steele, to dig up dirt on Trump's alleged connection to Russia. It seems that they're concerned about getting foreign countries involved in interfering in an election was fine when it was them doing it to Trump, but not so good if it was potentially, allegedly, Trump doing it to them. And that makes, I mean, really, they had no problem involving external governments when it came to trying to screw over Trump. But then all of a sudden, it's holy shit, we lost. Oh, it had to be Russia interfered. Oh, interference by a foreign government. And I've said since day one, they have involved foreign governments left, right, and center, Hillary did. And they had no problem with it. And the mindless sheep just went along, okay, yeah, we'll blame Trump. We'll say he did it with Russia. And the whole time they were conspiring with Ukrainian officials, Russia officials, British. That was okay. And then there is zero proof that Trump did anything illegal or colluded. Colluding is not even illegal. If he colluded with Russia, so be it. It's not illegal. Well, not so be it, but you know what I mean? They come up with all this bullshit. But when they do it, oh my God, it's the end of the world for everybody. Oh, wait a minute, we did it. Oh, it's perfectly okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. This dossier was cited repeatedly by Democrats who have claimed the Trump campaign colluded with Russia against Clinton. You had that jackass Al, who's the Democrat senator? Used to be a foul-mouthed comedian. Shit. Brain fart. Ow. Damn it. I'm looking it up. Al Franken. When they're confirming Jeff Sessions, threw that out there because it just broke. Oh, my God. Well, did you know? Sessions like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Oh, yeah, I know you want to know what you're talking about. It just broke. It was just on the news while we were on that little break. You know, they were running around about this, knowing that they created a fake bullshit lie to try to damage Trump. They created it, paid for it, got caught with their pants down, and now they're like, what? It's perfectly acceptable. Well, they said that Russia's trying to sow disorder in this country. Well, the Democrats have helped them complete that goal. The Democrats have helped. If that's what the Russians were trying to do, and they were actually trying to cause problems in the United States, the Democrats are a well-partnered accomplice. They have helped them along the way. I've never seen this country this fucked up politically as it is now. show you how fucked up things are in the media. And I mean, it's... Rachel Maddow, who's a star for MSNBC, latest anti-Trump conspiracy theory was so outlandish that even the dependable liberal Huffington Post criticized it as so flimsy that it could be debunked by a quick glance at a map. A week ago today, last Thursday evening, the Rachel Maddow show opened with a somber 25-minute diatribe that attempted to connect the tragic ambush attack that killed 4 American soldiers in Niger to the latest version of the President Trump's proposed travel ban, which included the nation of Chad. Maddow essentially claimed that the inclusion of Chad, which recently pulled its troop out of Niger in a revised travel ban, resulted in extremist attacks such as the one that left 4 Americans dead. The other one here is, this is going to be Trump's Benghazi. But wait a minute. Democrats are saying this is going to be Trump's Benghazi. But they told me Benghazi was nothing but a waste of time for taxpayers' money. So they're admitting that they're going to complain about false things. Or are they finally admitting that Benghazi was a big issue and they lied the whole time during those investigations just to get out of the scandal? Which is it? It's one or the other. You can't have it both ways. That it be a negative for the Republican, but it was nothing for the Democrats. I love that. They're running their mouths, and you hit them with that, they're like, fuck. The Huffington Post, which is so anti-Trump that it refuses to even cover him in the political section during the early stages of his campaign, published a story headline, "What the hell was this Rachel Maddow segment?" The MSNBC host proclaimed that Chad pulled out of Niger, had an immediate effect in emboldening ISIS attacks, but the Huffington Post easily shot down her theory. Colby College Department of Government and an assistant professor told the Huffington Post that any expert would have said Maddow's conspiracy theory was crazy, and the pullout of Chadian troops isn't necessarily related to the Trump's travel ban. Everybody I know is appalled by this. I would like to think that Maddow's researchers are more responsible. A common... While the MSNBC host called the tragic attack on American troops absolutely baffling, said it was actually almost inevitable because it's such a remote and hostile area. The attacks that have increased can be traced back to militant group Boko Haram, which is based just across the border in Nigeria, the Huffington Post reported, citing the Council of Foreign Relations and accounts from local residents. You mean the Boko Haram that Obama ignored? The Rachel Maddow show declined to comment on a Huffington Post, but the host addressed the situation on Friday night's episode. Hey, Dave, how you doing tonight? Over the course of the day today, a lot of people have been very upset with me for reporting that last night, which is fine. I didn't know you cared, but the upset over my reporting doesn't mean that anything I reported wasn't true, Maddow said. Everything I reported was true. Maddow continued, now this doesn't mean that Chad's withdrawing their troops was necessarily the cause of what happened to those U.S. troops who were ambushed. The ambush is being described by the Pentagon as a shock. You know it's bad, though, when the Huffington Post attacks a liberal report. That's bad. Just also to give an update, there will be no BZ Berserk Bobcat Saloon tonight. There's still no internet. I guess they used up too much internet, and the Socialized Internet Usage Act of California now says they have to give up some of their usage and give it to some poor cat that's down on its luck, living on the street. Socialism for you. Cat's got equal rights. Yeah, they are having a massive internet issue, and I just blame it on socialism in that country, in that state of confusion. No, it was illegal alien lesbian cats, to be exact, that think they're men, who think they're human. Yep. Illegal alien lesbian cats who think they're actually men. And from this planet. Yep. That's it. That's what I'm sticking with. They weren't getting their fair usage of the internet, so California Socialism Rules said that they had to take from the Sackheads radio show and BZ, Berserk Bobcat, Saloon. With that, everybody, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense, and we'll be right back after these brief messages.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Again, I'm making an announcement that there's going to be no BZ Berserk Bobcat Saloon tonight. As far as I know, I saw a comment made earlier, so hopefully I don't get made out to be a liar. Watch BZ shows up. Hey, I'm here, guys. No, last I knew they had a major outage at internet at Studio One. And yes, Dave, I agree. I do have a personal sanctuary apartment policy also for warm and fuzzy pussy. Also, I'm more than acceptable. It immediately pops in my head. From dusk to dawn. Let me see if I can find it. It's going to be bad. I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I don't care. There's a clip that I just always love from that movie. Hopefully I can find it. Come on. All right, here's Cheech. This is Cheech's little speech. Let me make sure there's no damn commercial. All right. Vulgar. A little bit of vulgarity. Cover your ears if you got little ones. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here at the Titty Twister, we're slashing pussy in half. Give us an offer on our vast selection of pussy. This is a pussy blowout. All right, we got white pussy, black pussy, Spanish pussy, yellow pussy. We got hot pussy, cold pussy. We got wet pussy. We got smelly pussy. We got hairy pussy, bloody pussy. We got snapping pussy. We got silk pussy, velvet pussy, nalga hide pussy. We even got horse pussy, dog pussy. Chicken pussy, come on, you want pussy? Come on in, pussy lovers. If we don't got it, you don't want it. Come on in, pussy lovers. Attention, pussy shoppers, take advantage of our penny pussy sale. If you buy one piece of pussy at the regular price, you will get another piece of pussy of equal or lesser value.
I'm sorry, that's what popped in my head when you said that, Dave. That's immediately what popped in my head. That will always stick with me. Of course, he's talking about pussy cats. Just cats we're talking about, so hopefully nobody gets too offended about the pussies. You know, the furry pussies. Gotta love them. Have you ever seen the movie Dusk to Dawn? And that's it. It's. I know it's bad to say it. Me and my partner. Oh, okay. Me and my partner would be driving in the rig, heading to a call, and just for some reason one of us would start quoting it. We would quote some of the dumbest shit at the wrongest time. But speaking of California, by the way, Gavin Newsom, who's the lieutenant governor and he's running for governor now, is asking the court order against the high-capacity magazine ban be lifted so the ban can take effect in California. Basically what happened is they put a law on that will ban high-capacity magazines, and a court order blocked that ban, so the ban was banned by the court. And now they want the ban lifted so the ban could take effect, so they could ban high-capacity magazines. Now, what's funny is so little people are actually killed with those types of weapons. But it fits into their mold of the scary-looking gun. I think I got another helicopter overhead again. Had a helicopter over the weekend, too. But that's here or there. A high-capacity magazine was set to go. The high-capacity magazine ban was set to go into effect in California on July 1st, but was blocked by U.S. District Judge, who ruled that the ban could not survive the test of District of Columbia versus Heller. Heller was a ruling which reaffirmed that Second Amendment rights are individual rights that the government is prohibited from infringing. Heller struck down a Washington, D.C. gun ban, demonstrating that federal districts are barred from infringing gun rights, and in 2010, the McDonald versus Chicago ruling affirmed that states are barred from infringing said rights as well. A high-capacity magazine ban in California was passed by a majority of voters via Proposition 63, but the judge noted that Heller is a reminder that the Constitution is in place to shield rights from the tyranny of the majority. Newsom wants the judge's order lifted so the ban can take effect. I want to be a millionaire. Can't always get what you want, Newsom. It's like a crying little socialist. He's not giving me what I want. According to the Los Angeles Times, Newsom said the ban will help prevent the occurrence of high-fatality gun massacres and will reduce the bloodshed when these tragedies occur. Notice that Newsom's claim contains an admission that the ban will not stop high-fatality attacks altogether. Rather, it is yet another in a long list of California controls that is propagated in the name of safety, only to result in diminished freedoms. The loss of freedoms would result from the fact that only law-abiding citizens would follow a high-capacity magazine ban, like any gun law. And law-abiding citizens are the very people who are not misusing the high-capacity magazines to begin with. This was not lost on the judge, who said he blocked the ban because its implementation would have meant hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of otherwise law-abiding would have an untenable choice: become an outlaw or dispose oneself of lawfully acquired property. Well, that's only one of several gun conversations we're going to have. I screwed up and I put this in the wrong place. Let me move this one article real quick. We'll get back to our gun discussion. I got multiple. Oh. Now we'll place that right here. I think that looks like a good place to put it. Except I screwed up. All right. There we are. Now we're cooking with gas. Nevada Attorney General. Bloomberg-backed background checks would not have prevented Las Vegas attack. Because Nevada is one of the states in which Michael Bloomberg funded every Town for Gun Safety campaign relentlessly for universal background checks in 2016. It is important to note that such checks would have done absolutely nothing. Let me say that again. Absolutely nothing to prevent sorry, I read something shiny key. It would have done nothing to prevent the October 1st Las Vegas attack. This is because Vegas attacker Stephen Paddock passed background checks for his guns. Nevada Attorney General Adam Wax, made this very point in the Las Vegas Review Journal on October 21st when he wrote, many, including U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein of California, Democrat, have said no law could have stopped the attacker. It should be crystal clear to anybody honestly reporting the facts that question 1, even if it had been implemented, would have done nothing to prevent this tragedy. The attacker purchased his weapons legally after passing the background check process. It must be noted that the Vegas attacker is only the latest example in a long line of examples of mass public attackers who purchase his weapons legally after passing the background check process. Following the June 14th Alexander attack, there was a report with a list of some of the mass public attackers who acquired their guns via background checks. Now, bear with me. This list is a little bit long. The Congressional Baseball Practice attacker. I'm just going to give the name of the incident and not the date. The Orlando attacker. UCLA attacker. San Bernardino attacker. Colorado Springs attacker. The Umpqua Community College attacker. Allison Parker's attacker, Lafayette Movie Theater attacker, the Chattanooga attacker, the alleged Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal attacker, Mohammed Cartoon Contest attacker, Las Vegas cop killers, Santa Barbara attackers, Fort Hood attacker, both incidents, because there was one in 2014 and 2009, Arapahoe High School attacker, D.C. Navy Yard attacker, Aurora Movie Theater attacker, Gabby Giffords attacker, the Virginia Tech attacker. It is ironic that after nearly every attack in that list, Democrats hit the ground running, pushing for universal background checks. In other words, they sought to expand background checks from retail point of sale to private point of sale as well. If readers are thinking, they may wonder why Democrats would push a failed gun control as a means of preventing another public attack. The answer to this is simple. Democrats know universal background checks are insidious. Once implemented, they will naturally and necessarily lead to a gun registry and eventually licensing of gun owners. Just look at California. That state adopted universal background checks in the early 1990s. They now have firearm registration and require would-be gun buyers to obtain a certificate from the state before purchasing a firearm. That certification does not allow them to carry a gun. It simply allows them to exercise the right to have a gun in their own. On top of this, they have added confiscation laws, an assault weapons ban, a high-capacity magazine ban that is blocked, and so much more. The money dumped into Nevada by Bloomberg-funded Everytown and other out-of-state groups secured the passage of Nevada Question 1, i.e. universal background checks, on November 8th, 2016. But the implementation of those checks was blocked by the AG after the FBI refused to be part of the mechanism for conducting the checks. Some have responded that the Vegas attack by pointing fingers at the AG. Those who do this fail to understand that we have background checks on retail gun purchases by federal law. And Paddock bought his guns from federally licensed firearm dealers, which means he underwent background checks. Once again, background checks did not stop latent criminals. They only stop. They don't stop anybody. They stop law-abiding citizens. It gives another barrier for them to get a gun. This is going on time and time again. But, I'll give you a hint. One of the next articles we're going to talk about, Schumer is urging Democrats to avoid the gun control conversation. They want him to shut up and not touch it. We'll talk about that more on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless, or at least try to. Now, as I said, Chuck Schumer is urging Democrats to avoid gun control. I wonder why. Why? Because there's budget debate coming up. There is, we're, about a year away from election. And he knows when gun control is talked, they lose elections. This is what makes me funny, and I get into it with a lot of the gun control people. They talk about how they're the majority, and I keep saying, well, if you're the majority, how come we don't have the majority of the politicians that are in there? Why aren't they putting in these gun control anti-gun control laws in? And it usually stumbles them because they don't know how to answer. They always come up with some bullshit excuse. If you had as much support as they say they do, they would have elected the senators. The senators would have got in. Democrats won't be afraid to talk about gun control because they are dead scared to during certain times of the year, because they know if they try to push gun control too much, they will get their asses booted out, because that's not what the majority of the country wants. The majority of the country believes in the Constitution, believes in the freedom of the Constitution and the freedom of ownership of guns and to be able to carry them. Now, as I said, Chuck Schumer, who is the Senate minority leader for the Democrat Party, is urging his Democrat colleagues to avoid gun control as debate over the budget begins. In other words, despite ardent post-Vegas gun control push by members of his own party, relentless criticism of the GOP-led Congress, refusal to pass more gun laws, Schumer is asking his colleagues to tone it down. According to The Hill, Schumer is concerned about the outcome of the 2018 election and what pushing gun control might do to Democrats who are up for re-election. He said he's urging his caucus to limit its focus to 4 issues, none of which include gun control. He wants Democrats to bash the GOP proposal to cut the tax rate for the highest income bracket, oppose tax increases on middle-class earners, fight proposed cuts to Medicare and Medicaid, and insist that tax reform not add to the deficit. Now, all of a sudden, the Democrats are worried about the deficit. 8 years of Obama, they never worried about a goddamn $1 billion worth of deficit, $1 trillion worth of deficit. They didn't give a shit. Now, we got to worry about the deficit. We don't want to add to the deficit. Fuck you. You ain't worried about that. You just want to hit key talking points, and that's what they think they're doing. We're going to hit key talking points, and we're going to make them feel that we are behind them. And that's what they tried doing. They tried doing that after the election. They started using a lot of keywords that conservatives use. Constitution, constitutionality, constitutional politicians, patriots. We're patriots. We love this country. That's why we're going to spit on the flag. But they do that. We're being patriotic. 8 years, patriots were considered a form of domestic terrorism underneath Obama and Senate Majority Harry Reid. being a patriot was a negative connotation. Now that they see that the American people really stepped up and put a boot in their ass, now all of a sudden they want to act and start using key words. Where were they for 8 years on the middle class, helping the middle class? Where were they for 8 years on creating jobs? Now all of a sudden they have all these ideas how to help the middle class, how to help the job market. Where were they for 8 years under Obama? Where were all these great ideas they had then? Why? Because they don't have a fucking idea. They have slogans. That's all the Democrat Party has is slogans. Now, longtime gun control lad Everett is not happy with the direction Schumer has taken. Everett said Democrats need to find courage and learn to speak to the issue. There's a lot of anger in this movement about the response from Democrats right now. People think it's totally inadequate. He just doesn't understand. That's not what the people want. The problem is these Democrats have been pushing their lies so much. The American people are rejecting it as lies, but it seems it has the reversed effect. I don't want to say reverse effect because it is working on weak-minded. It's called Democrat politicians. They're weak-minded, and they're believing their own bullshit. And that's the part that's scary. It's not that they're just telling these lies, that they're starting to believe in their own lies. And that is bad. Bad things happen. I don't understand it. But I knew this was going to come with Schumer. He was going to have to tone it down because we're starting to get into election season again. You know, we got about a year. And, you know, campaigning is going to start anytime soon. You got primaries. You got some elections coming up in this November. And then right now it's funny because I bet you right now you're going to hear Democrats. They're going to win. The governor of New Jersey is going to become a Democrat. And they're going to scream how that is the message that is showing everybody is against Trump because they turned their back on Chris Christie. That's showing that this nation is against Trump. They finally get a win after how many special elections? They're going to get a win there. Why? Because New Jersey, they're fucking Democrat state. All right? Chris Christie kind of pissed off everybody in that state, both sides of the aisle. He pissed off Republicans. He pissed off Democrats. So everybody is pretty much just going to go for a Democrat at this point. But they're going to hold this up, the Democrats are, as some rally cry, and this is their moment, and they just proved everybody hates Trump. Well, let's see how Virginia goes, because I think that's this November, too, which it's looking like, it's going to be Republican is in the lead right now. But I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to scream that's a big step for them. And they're going to think it's a big step with gun control, because New Jersey is... I swear to God, New Jersey, New York, and California keep going, hold my beer, when it comes to doing the most unconstitutional thing possible. Hey, look at that. We just banned large capacity magazine. New Jersey sitting there going, yeah, hold my beer. Watch this. Because one governor... Democrat candidate for governor has already said they have a stack of anti-gun laws that are sitting on the desk. Once they are elected, sign all of them right there. New Jersey's gun laws will get worse than they already are. They already limit how many you can buy, when you can buy, how you can buy. You have to go to the police every time and get a permit to buy a handgun. You got to do a mother may I. You can only buy one handgun a month. You know, there's so many different little ins and outs, and it's bullshit. And I know a lot of the police stations think it's bullshit, too. But it's also a moneymaker for those police stations. All right, let me jump to another article real quick. I got off topic there, but it happens. I thought I had one more. Gun control push flounders, as we talked about. It's been floundering as view on guns unchanged by Las Vegas attack. The gun control push that marked the first 10 days following the October 1st mass Las Vegas attack has now floundered and all but disappeared, in large part because the shooter did not impact American attitude towards guns. KPCC put it in this way. Las Vegas shooting didn't change anyone's mind about guns, and they back this assertion up by citing an Associated Press NORC Center for Public Relations research poll, which shows that Americans' view on guns were roughly the same October 12 through 16, 2017, as they were in July 2016. This means that 3 different positions continue to be held by Americans. 1, more gun control needed. 2, no more gun control needed. 3, some gun control should be repealed. And while the majority of respondents to the AP poll believe more gun control is needed, that position is driven by Democrat respondents. For example, nearly 9 in 10 Democrats want to see gun laws made stricter. Only 1/3 of Republicans agree with them, and that 1/3, well, they're called rhinos. On October 11th, Breitbart News reported on a poll by Politico Morning Consult that showed 47% of voters support gun control over 42% of voters who support... 47% support gun rights over 42% voters who support gun control. This is a significant poll because the respondents were Americans who actually vote. It is also significant because it, too, showed the support for more gun control was driven by Democrats. Politico reported that 63% of Democrat voters supported limiting gun ownership, while only 25% believe protecting guns' right is more important. Republicans were just the opposite, with 70% saying that it's more important to protect gun rights compared to 23% who say limiting gun ownership is more important. The political dangers of this Democrat push for gun control has not been lost on party leaders like Schumer, who is asking his colleagues to hit the brakes, as we just discussed. He's worried about the loss that they could suffer in the 2018 election if they identify too closely with gun control. And they know it. Now, I know I had another article. Let me see where I put it. Because they're talking about the Bloomberg and all of the money that they keep dumping into states. And how, everybody complains about the NRA and all the money that's pushed in from there. But they never talk about Bloomberg and how many billions of dollars he spends on gun control. He finances and has created how many anti-gun groups? That's the funny part. One doesn't do it, he'll create another one. Okay, we'll create another one. We'll create another one. There's multiple of these groups that he finances. And here it is. $50 million in 2014 alone, Michael Bloomberg financed. $50 million to restrict the Second Amendment. Could you imagine if a Republican tried spending $5 million to restrict free speech, restrict religion, any constitutional right? Could you imagine a backlash? But yet here we have Michael Bloomberg spending $50 million in 1 year to attack gun rights, to try to restrict our constitutional right. Now, according to Slate, a portion of Bloomberg's gifts to the gun control lobby consist of a $36 million donation. $36 million donation to Everytown for gun safety. This is money which Everytown then uses to accomplish Bloomberg's bidding in states like Washington. And it's funny because on Everytown for gun safety, on the Facebook and on the Twitter, I gave my story about my father shooting and asked them to explain to me how their gun control laws would help my dad. They blocked me. I was not nasty. I was not mean. I asked a simple question how their gun control could have helped my dad from being shot. When a criminal illegally carried in a state where it was already illegal to carry and shot, attempted to kill my father, which is already a crime within itself. And their great response was to block me, to hide behind a curtain because they couldn't answer it, and it blows all their theories out the water. But this Everytown for gun safety is okay. But the National Rifle Association is an evil entity? And we're going to talk about more of this on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and the, Lone Star News Radio. I'm still trying to get used to that, damn it. We'll be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, live rebooting Liberty and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. I'm double checking something to make sure. And I haven't seen BZ, so that's pretty good telltale that he's not going to be on tonight. Come on. Yeah, the internet is still down at the SHR Media Studio 1. So there will be no BZ Berserk Bobcat Saloon tonight. But we're going to continue with this Bloomberg conversation and talking about Everytown because it's the exact opposite of the NRA, except NRA is protecting the Second Amendment. Everytown is trying to attack a constitutional right. And Everytown does not just push gun control at the state level, but at a federal level too. They rally behind bills for universal background checks in the wake of mass public attacks, even when background checks have nothing to do with the attack, or even though a given attacker pass checks to acquire his or her guns. A well-funded Everytown also fights against pro-Second Amendment bills like campus carry, permitless carry. And it's funny how so many female groups, these women groups, empowerment groups, but they're against women carrying guns to protect themselves against rape. The best rape whistle is a goddamn gun going off. But in addition to the $36 million for Everytown, Bloomberg spent $16.7 million to support governors who favor tighter gun laws. That represents a total contribution of $52.7 million to gun control lobby in 2014 alone. This may come as news to people who are accustomed to hearing Bloomberg associates like Shannon Watts criticize the extreme position of well-financed gun industry lobbyists. After all, such criticism gives the impression that pro-Second Amendment groups are awash in cash while the gun control lobby is struggling just to get by. 2 days after the attack on Las Vegas, Watts wrote a column for The Guardian in which she used a strawman argument against the NRA's deep pockets as a way to rally gun control lobby members to push for gun laws. She framed pro-Second Amendment supporters as friends of the gun lobby, while describing gun control proponents as volunteers. This linguistic sleight of hand gives the impression that Second Amendment advocates are throwing money around. It's throwing money around like it's nothing, while gun controllers are simply citizens fighting the big machine in hopes of doing what they think is right. Ho Chi Minh could not have framed it better. Yet all the while, Bloomberg alone dumped $52.7 million into the gun control lobby in 2014. And Bloomberg has been dumping money into the gun control lobby for a long time. He did not start giving or spending for gun control in 2014. For example, in 2012, then New York City Mayor Bloomberg and Boston Mayor Thomas, Menino, shot a Super Bowl ad pushing the gun control lobby's message. Although the ad was paid for by mayors against illegal guns, the New York Times made clear that Bloomberg was one of the group's financial contributors. Now, here's a little fun fact for you. Mayors against illegal guns. I think they were talking about shutting that down because all of the governors, or mayors, had been arrested one way or another. Let me see if that's still even up. Mayors. Oops. I think even a couple of them got busted for having illegal guns on them. And that's the other funny thing. All these people, they're out there screaming and crying about it. You had the California politician who was one of the strongest gun control proponents out there. And what? He got busted and convicted of running guns. He was dealing in illegal guns. Then he's out there telling us we can't own our own gun for protection, as he has security around him. Trying to see. Oh, it turned into, looks like it, mayors against illegal guns turned into every town. Occurred in nearly 1 year. Yeah, and it got rolled into because, well, the mayors just were getting arrested. So they flipped it on over because he wasn't a mayor anymore. And now it makes it seem like it's the everyday man. It went from being politicians to, that could be somebody in my town. And I think it was also, if I'm reading this right, he may have rolled in Mom's Demand, which always made me laugh. Moms are demanding what? You don't demand shit out of me. And they got caught with so many fucked up things. They were doing these photographs, saying that there was a shitload of people that showed up. And when they looked at the actual photograph and they went to the widescreen shot, it was only like the 5 people that were photographed that actually showed up, surrounded by armed guards. It's absolutely a joke. Now, the Senate probe has asked whether Robert Mueller alerted Obama administration to the Russian bribery scheme. The Senate Judiciary Committee is looking into the 2010 sale of U.S. uranium to Russia under then-Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, whether then-FBI Director Robert Mueller alerted Obama administration about its investigation into Russia involved in the deal. There is so much coming out between the Russian dossier, the uranium one. You know, it just keeps piling up and piling up and piling up and piling up and piling up all the corruption that was underneath the Obama administration. And we continue to do nothing about it. The only thing I'm hoping about right now, I'm not holding my breath, but I'm hoping that they're just building the cases up. And they know that there's multiple tiers to this case. And they're kind of all interlinked. So they're working it together. And there'll be at least a grand jury or something. But they're going to work it all into one massive case. Because if they have enough, and they have a big enough case, you're going to see the Clintons do a plea deal. The House Republicans announced a joint probe into the Uranium One scandal. House Republicans announced a joint investigation Tuesday into the sale of the Uranium One company to a Russian company under the Obama administration after reports emerged of an FBI investigation into bribery kickbacks by the Russians as they sought to expand their uranium footprint. We're not going to jump to any conclusion at this time, but one of the things we are concerned about was whether there was an FBI investigation, whether there was a DOJ investigation, and if so, why Congress was not informed of this matter. The other question is, wouldn't that actually be, if Obama interfered, wouldn't that actually be obstruction? There's your true obstruction. There's your true collusion with Russia. I agree, Dave. They have dirt on thousands of people. The only thing I'm hoping this case is getting so big that you can cover up so much shit, but sooner or later that shit it's just going to be popping out from every corner. That's what I'm hoping. I like I said, I'm not holding my breath. I'm hoping, but I'm not holding my breath on a lot of this stuff. But a lot more is being pointed out than we ever seen before. A lot of this stuff would have been covered up from administration to administration. Let's say we would have had Bush or Rubio or Kasich had won the election, just for the sake of argument. None of this would have been brought up. It would all have been swept underneath the carpet. There would be the innuendos thrown out there, little comments, but none of this massive amount of information would have came out to us. So it does give me a little bit of hope that more is coming out than we ever would have seen before. Because I am dead sure as I know my name is Joe. If any other Republican had won the election, they would have kept this all quiet. From the Uranium One deal to the dossier to the payouts to the Clintons, just everything would have been kept quiet because Republicans would have been trying to be one of the good old boys and help out and see, we'll play ball with you, just work with us. I'm hoping that something comes about. I'm not holding my breath, but I have a little faith. Well, that's going to be the show. And again, I want to apologize for not being here the last couple of days, but family comes first. And when I had that fear of my daughter, let me tell you, there was nothing else on my mind except. So, Dave the Unpleasant Fly Guy just put in the chat room, I think the soon-released documents will show Hillary Rodham Clinton killed JFK with a lollipop. That was good. Listen, everybody, I'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a great night. Come on.
You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.